I can talk about this because I haven't talked about it before, but I grew up with dad. So I learned a lot about the like psychological significance of the Bible. He has the YouTube series on. And it was always kind of through that lens, like metaphors. And then I had like way too many really absurd experiences that I couldn't wrap my head around, where I was like, my life this doesn't make any sense. This doesn't make any sense. This is too weird, like too coincidental. And that happened for like 5 years, like every day. And and then some rough experiences over the summer. And about a month ago, I would say, I think I can say this. I would say I found God, which I haven't before. Like I definitely haven't before. And it was very sudden. And it was when I was, what I've been doing for the last, I'm pretty new to this. And what I've been doing for the last like month or so is reading the Bible and praying.
Good for you.
And I guess in a way that's more like Protestant probably. And it's been the like amount of peace that I've had, I haven't had before.
Yeah.
It's completely absurd. I can't believe it. Like, so I was looking forward to talking to you because my mom practices Catholicism and I haven't really understood it very well because I felt like part of it was kind of, I don't want to say vindictive, but I felt like there was a punishing element to it so that if you do something wrong, it's like, you know, repent and kind of punish yourself. And I feel like with my type of brain, I have enough guilt in me that I punish myself enough for anything I maybe even don't even do that wrong. So I was like, I wasn't very attracted to the whole Catholicism thing because I thought there was a punishment element. So I was interested in talking to you to like learn a little bit more about it.
Yeah. I have some thoughts on the punishment element, but I'm curious, can I ask about your experience first?
Yeah.
So when you said you felt you discovered God, what was that? Was it just like in a single moment you realized that things just lined up too well, or?
It was like, I had this one day where I was worrying about a number. There were like 4 really important, and I'm not going to get into details.
That's fine.
Either like you did, but like really, I get it. 4 really important parts of my life and all of them were going really badly. Like in ways where I was like, am I not trying hard enough? Yeah. Like what more can I do? I can't do more to fix these 4 major problems. And then I met somebody. I was going to check out Austin to see if I wanted to stay in Austin for the winter, which I don't. But I met somebody there and he's Christian. And he was like, well, how are you managing with all these problems? And I was like, I'm not managing well. I'm really not managing well. Yeah. Like I'm working and I'm keeping it together, but I don't feel good. And I used to be like clinically depressed and it wasn't depression. I just wasn't feeling good. And he was like, well, that's why you need God. And I said, okay, well, that's fine and dandy. You know, it's nice when somebody comes up to you and is like, well, you need God, because how are you supposed to wrap your head around that? So I was like, well, I don't know. Like, yeah, okay, maybe that sounds great, but I don't know how to get there. And he said, just beg for him to reveal himself to you. Like ask him that's what he said. Ask him to reveal himself to you. And so I went home that night and I was pretty upset about like these 4 major problems. And I was in bed. So I was praying, like seriously praying, like, please give me some sort of sign. Please reveal himself to you. And the next day, all 4 problems cleared up in ways that I like made sense. It was like they could have cleared up, but the likelihood of all 4 of them clearing up randomly that day was just too much. So that happened. And I also woke up with this sense of calm I hadn't felt, like the sense of calm right here. And that was enough. I was like, okay, that's good. That's good enough for me. So it was kind of like a click there, which is different for me because I think I've been talking about it on the podcast a little bit and bringing people on and talking to my mom, but nothing clicked. So it was really sudden click. And then everything was great for about 2 weeks. So I was praying, I was reading the Bible. I was like, this is fantastic. Everything's working out. And then 2 weeks later, I was like, just a little bit, just this one little thought that was like, well, you know, am I being silly? There are actual like more logical explanations for why things turned around. And that happened. And then I had 2 just miserable days. So it was just 2 miserable days. And it was like, what is happening? why do I feel this like existential horror again? Which I would differentiate from depression because I've been depressed before. This was really like existential angst.
Yeah.
And so then I think I went back. It's not like I'd stopped reading the Bible or stopped praying, but I was just a little bit more removed from it. Yeah. And so I went back to it, and then I had the most wild dream. So I was talking to my parents about this and being like, I think I found God. Like, isn't that crazy? And I went to sleep that night, and I woke up at 5:30 in the morning, and I had a dream. I think I'm allowed to talk about this stuff, but I had a dream, and this loud thundering voice just yelled, "Do it," in the dream. And I woke up at 5:30 in the morning and was like, I think I just got yelled at by God. I think that just happened. That's what it felt like. What does that mean? What does it mean? So I had kind of a rough morning. I was like, I don't know what this means. Is that really what happened? And then it occurred to me that I think what it meant was just go all in. Don't do this like 75% in. Anyway, so it's been a wild month. I'm doing really well. It's